The world stage is exactly that, a stage. You ever get the feeling you're watching a bad play? The lights, the drama, the perfectly timed outrage. One week it's a scandal, the next a solution. Left and right screaming at each other like rival fan clubs, while nothing ever truly changes. And you start thinking, is this even real? Here's the cold truth they'll never admit. Politics is theater, and the people you call leaders, they're just actors in expensive suits reading from a script written by someone else. In this episode of Rock Solid TV, we're going to expose the fake tears, the stage debates, the hidden coaching, and the elite producers pulling the strings behind the scenes. This isn't conspiracy. This is history. This is fact. Let's pull the curtain back and see what's really behind the podium. Yes, they're trained like actors. You think politicians are just passionate, off-the-cuff public servants? Wrong. Nearly every high-level politician undergoes media training, acting lessons, voice coaching, and even body language manipulation. And I'm not talking about a workshop or two. This is professional performance. Ever notice how they pause just right for applause? How their voices rise with concern at the same moment, but never shed a real tear. Because it's all taught. They study tone, posture, microexpressions, and even eye contact rhythms to simulate authenticity, because they're not speaking from the heart. They're delivering a monologue. Reagan, Schwarzenegger, Zelensky. Let's get literal. Ronald Reagan, Hollywood actor. Arnold Schwarzenegger, Hollywood actor. Volodymyr Zelensky, comedian who literally played the president on TV before becoming the actual president. You think that's coincidence? No, it's predictive programming. They train the masses to accept the character before installing the puppet, and it works like a charm. Because once you're emotionally bonded to a face on a screen, logic no longer matters. You've been cast under a spell. Staged hearings and scripted outrage. Congressional hearings are a joke. Every senator gets 5 minutes to look tough on camera, yelling at Facebook execs, grilling pharma CEOs, or pretending to challenge the status quo. But behind the scenes, they're shaking hands and cutting deals over cocktails. Because the hearings aren't about justice, they're about sound bites. You are not watching accountability. You're watching a made-for-TV drama, edited for maximum emotional reaction. And they know exactly what emotions to target: fear, anger, tribalism, hope. They play you like a fiddle. Neurolinguistic programming. Most top-tier politicians are trained in NLP, neurolinguistic programming. It's a form of psychological manipulation that uses word patterns, gestures, and anchoring to trigger specific responses. They'll say phrases like, "Let me be clear," to anchor authority. We're all in this together to manufacture unity. Our children's future depends on to hijack morality. And while you think you're listening to ideas, you're actually being hypnotized. That podium isn't just wood. It's a pulpit of propaganda. Who writes the script? If they're actors, who's the director? Who writes their speeches? Who funds their campaigns? Who decides which issues matter this year? Let's name names. Think tanks like the Council on Foreign Relations CFR, Trilateral Commission, and Atlantic Council. PR firms like Edelman and Hill Knowlton. BlackRock and Vanguard, the financial shadow lords. And yes, lobbyists from pharma, defense, tech, and big oil. Politicians don't write policy, they perform it. The real script is handed down by corporate overlords, intelligence agencies, and unelected power brokers. Fake town halls and green screen presidents. Remember Biden waving at the press and his hand passed through the mic? Yeah. Green screen. Presidents don't walk freely anymore, they're placed, controlled, guarded, projected. Fake town halls use planted questions, pre-selected guests, and teleprompter coaching. Even Trump, with his off-the-cuff style, used back-channel handlers to frame key narratives. This isn't just manipulation, it's manufactured reality. Freemasons, initiation, and the theater of power. Here's where it gets ancient. The idea of ruling through performance goes back to Rome. Bread and circuses. Give the masses food and entertainment and they won't revolt. Fast forward to today, Congress is the new Colosseum. The Senate floor is the stage. The State of the Union is the annual ritual. And many of these leaders are initiated into secret societies, Freemasons, Skull and Bones, Bohemian Grove, where performance isn't just strategy, it's ritual. They play roles in a much larger script, one written by the enemy of truth. Controlled opposition, fake fights for real control. You think you have two choices, red versus blue, left versus right. But what if both sides serve the same master? Controlled opposition is the oldest trick in the book. Create a fake enemy, Let people pick a side, while the puppet masters laugh and cash checks either way. It's WWE in a suit and tie. You don't get to vote for the directors. You only vote for which actor gets the next scene. And the show must go on. Every election is a season premiere. Every crisis is a scripted arc, and just like Hollywood, there are heroes, villains, plot twists, and tragic deaths. But when it's over, you're poorer, they're richer, and the system rolls on, because the goal was never truth. It was compliance. So what do you do when you realize your leaders are actors? When your nation's future is just a screenplay, you stop clapping, you stop giving them your attention, your trust, your energy, you stop voting for the next performance, and you start living in truth. This isn't a game, it's war. A war for your mind, your spirit, your future. So turn off the show, get in the word, wake up your family, and remember, the real king isn't up for re-election. This is Rocky Smith, breaking the fourth wall and burning the set down. Stay bold, stay sharp, stay rock solid.